Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you are new, if you're not new, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marina and today I'm going to be talking about all of my bookish goals for the new year. I usually don't record this type of video, but I'm hoping that in order to put this on camera for other people to see, I can actually stick to my goals this year, because usually I make a list of goals and I tend to not follow through, and I just want to change that in 2025. And I think this is the first step of doing it, is just to let you guys know my goals so that way others can hold me accountable, because I'm not going to hold myself accountable, and I think you guys will definitely help me with that. The goals that I want to go through are goals that obviously have to do with my reading, what I want to read this year, how I want to read this year, and then also goals having to do with this channel and how I want to go about posting about bookish content on here. There's only a few of those. For the most part, they are all in regards to my reading. Yeah, I think that this is just gonna be a fun, quick little video to put out, and so you guys can know where my head is at in terms of what I'm willing to read this year, what I really want to read, what I don't want to do, in terms of like old habits. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, I haven't counted out my goals, but I'm pretty sure this is like at least 10. First goal that I have that I want to pursue in 2025 is getting more into annotating and or just having more fun with annotating. I don't usually annotate in books. If I do, it's when I'm willing to reread one of my favorite books that I haven't annotated before. I think that I've always associated annotating with school, and that's why I've always hated it, because school kind of ruins everything for me. Like things that I think are fun, school just takes and ruins it. And whenever I was annotating for school, it had to be like scholarly annotating, like looking for key themes and like contextualize this and blah blah blah, and it just made reading less fun, made annotating less fun, and I don't want to do that. Me annotating this year is going to be however I want it to be, and I'm hoping doing that I could have a little bit more fun with it. I'm currently annotating a series. If you know me, then you know the series that I wanted to read at the beginning of the year. I'm currently reading that and annotating it, and there's going to be reading vlogs for it in due time, but I'm trying to take my time with this series that I'm annotating. I don't want to rush too much into it. Rereading this series and being able to annotate it on this reread is making me have a better time with it than I thought that I would, and find new ways of annotating that I actually prefer. So yeah, that's goal number one. The next goal is kind of ambitious for me, but I'm already like pushing through with this goal this month. Like I'm like doing it right now. I want to read one classic a month, or at least 5 within the year. Okay, so I told you guys this. I want to get out of my comfort zone when it comes to reading this year, and I actually want to stick to that goal. But the thing is, because that goal is so vague, I put a little flair on my goals this year in terms of what I mean by getting out of my comfort zone, and one of them is reading classics. I am not against reading classics. I think it just became a thing in school where it wasn't fun for me to read them, because it always ended up being about a grade or a test or a quiz, or somehow my thoughts would end up being wrong and like I didn't perceive stuff the right way, and it was just like not fun for me to read classics growing up. But I've gotten the chance to read like a few classics within the past few years of me getting back into reading, and I've had a lot of fun with those. But I think this year I really just want to go ahead and get started on my classics journey. And like I said, right now I'm currently reading If Beale Street Could Talk by James Baldwin. I'm having a really great time with that. It's my first time reading a James Baldwin book. I can already tell it's going to be one of my favorites of this month. I'm trying not to give too much away, because that's for a reading wrap up, but yeah, I hope to read at least one classic a month, or at least 5 within the year, and I think that's doable. It could be like any classic. Like, I'm not just talking about like literary fiction. I'm talking about like classics from any genre. It could be horror, it could be sci-fi, it could be literally anything. I just want to get more into classics, because I think that could be fun, and another way to get me out of the kind of funk I've been in with reading the same things over and over again. This third goal is one that I feel like is pretty really ambitious because I don't know where to start with it, and it's also the only goal I have on here that's dedicated to one specific author in particular. But I really want to do this. I really want to get into Brandon Sanderson's books. Just saying that out loud is hilarious because like it's honestly like so intimidating. Intimidating, I feel like is the right word, because I don't know what else you would call the feeling that I'm feeling about this man and his works. Brandon Sanderson, if you guys don't know, is one of the biggest authors in the sci-fi fantasy genre, specifically fantasy, I feel like. He has written many, I feel like, modern classics in fantasy over the course of like, I don't even know how long. He's always been an author that I've heard about when it comes to fantasy. As an avid fantasy reader, I have been recommended Brandon Sanderson's books so many times, but because he has written so many books, and a lot of his books, if not all of his books, take place within like the same universe. Like all of his books are connected somehow, even if they are like standalone series. The series all connect in some way, shape, or form, and I never really know where to start. I've always wanted to read his stuff. It's just been kind of like intimidating to me because the amount of books he has is, one, ridiculous, two, very jarring if you just want to like hop into his stuff, and three, his stuff also is like across many different age demographics. I know he has a YA series. I think Mistborn is considered YA, and then like an actual sci-fi YA series, and then of course there's the Way of King series, and he keeps putting out books. I'm pretty sure he just released a new book for one of his series, and the book was like this thick. I saw it and I was like, oh, that's hefty. But I do want to read his stuff because I feel like his type of fantasy, like epic fantasy, is the type of fantasy that I would enjoy. I've only heard great things about his stuff. I've never come across someone who has read Brandon Sanderson and said that they didn't like his books. Of course, there are some that people like more than others, but across the board, everyone who has read his stuff is always like, you need to read this. You should love this. I know that you're gonna love it. And I know I am too. I just don't really know where to start. So if you have read Brandon Sanderson, give me a clear place of where to start. Because I've heard different answers from different people every time I ask this question, to the point where I might just dive into a random book and see what happens. But I want to know if there is a clear starting point. Because even when I looked online, people are just like, well, it depends on like different parts of the story, which characters you would prefer reading about, and blah, blah, blah. I don't need all that. I just need like a clear-cut answer, please. The next goal that I have, another one that I am kind of scared of doing because I've never done it before. Just the thought of it, like, but I want to change this year, Marina. You have to grow. I want to make a consistent TBR list every month. This goes into my physical TBR. I want to make a TBR specifically for my physical books. And I don't know when I'm going to do that, if I'm being honest. Maybe in the spring. I feel like it's the best time for me to do that because, again, I'm really focused on reading like specific series that I own on my shelf or specific authors that I want to get to, and that's stuff that I want to do within like the next month or two. But I think probably in March or April I will make a TBR list, or I will start my TBR journey of some kind. I don't really know. This is something that you guys know that I want to accomplish, is focusing more on my physical TBR, and I think making, I don't know, some sort of like TBR jar would help with that. And of course, I would bring you guys along on the process. If you guys want like the making of a TBR video or just TBR videos period, I could do that for you. Because again, it's another way to hold me accountable, but also I just think it's a good way of making like more content for you guys, and a good way for me to read the stuff that I own. Ever since I made my organization video a few months ago for my bookshelves, seeing all of the books that I do need to get to, it's not as many as I thought, but it's still like a lot that I do need to read. And what better way of making sure I read it than making a TBR? The TBR with new books as well, books I've never read before. But the main point of it is to get to all of this that you see behind me. I'm just scared because I'm a mood reader first and foremost. If I'm not vibing with the book, it's mainly because I'm just not in the mood for it. And I feel like a TBR goes against everything that I stand for. But it's something that I really do want to do, just to see if it will stick, because maybe I'll like it. I don't know. Like I'm not really a list person. I don't do like schedules or lists to keep myself ahead of things and organized. I kind of just like go with the flow. That's always been the type of person I am, just generally speaking. But yeah, growth. change. Those are the themes of 2025. So that's what I'm going to do. Next I have is get into more translated books. Now, me personally, I at first put this point as just like reading more manga because that's a goal that I have always had on my goals for the new year. When it comes to what I read, I always put manga, but I think just generally speaking, I do want to get into more translated works by many different people from different countries, different regions, different languages. I just think that would be fun. I think that would, again, get me out of my comfort zone a bit because obviously, like I said, I want to dive into classics, but I also wouldn't mind classics by authors that are not American and their native language is not English. I think that would be very different for me because I've never really thought of reading anything like that, but like now that it's actually like a goal of mine, it sticks out to me the most on this list because it's nothing I've ever really saw myself doing outside of like manga and like graphic novels and stuff like that. But maybe if I try to, I don't know, pick up like a German book translated. But I'm also kind of scared of this one because I've heard that some translated books don't hit depending on who has written the translation. So I would have to look more into that. But overall, I think that this is the goal that I really am excited about the most. The next one is one that I am already failing at. We're halfway in January and I'm already sucking at this, but get back into journaling. I used to be really on top of my reading journal. Like if you know me, you know, like a year ago, over a year ago at this point, I was consistent with my reading journal for like 2 years straight. I loved my reading journal. It just helped me stay focused into my reading and writing my reviews with like a pen and paper. It made me feel a lot better. I haven't been doing that the past year and I really want to get back into it. I don't know how I fell off, why I fell off so hard, but we're gonna fix that in 2025. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get back into it with the same methods of having a physical reading journal or if I'm going to try to just like keep a log of my reviews in Storygraph because I consider that all one and the same. Like as long as you are keeping track of your reading with your reading journal of any kind, then you're doing a good job in my opinion. It doesn't have to be a physical reading journal. It could just be like a reading tracker app or whatever. I just want somewhere where I can log in my reviews because that also helps me a lot when it comes to like book wrap up videos because months go by so fast for me that I can't remember what I have read and what I thought of a book. Like I can remember the star review that I gave it, but I can't remember like my actual thoughts after reading it unless I put it down. I need to figure out a way that works for me, and I think, not gonna lie, Storygraph is probably the way I'm gonna go. If you guys don't follow me on Storygraph, you can. It's in the description below, but I think I'm gonna do that. I've been keeping a good track of my Storygraph. Obviously, you guys saw my previous video, like my stats and stuff have been updated in the past year, but I think I'm gonna try to log in actual reviews and my thoughts of books through that app. So next one is one that I feel like you guys will be more excited about than I am. Not saying that I'm not excited to do this or else I wouldn't have put it on my goals list, but a lot of you guys have been asking for this one. Get back into reading on my Kindle. Now, I don't know why I worded it like this because in order to get back into something, you have to have already been into it. I have barely read on my Kindle. I know that a lot of you guys found me through my Kindle unboxing video. I got that Kindle in 2023, I'm pretty sure. I have not been using my Kindle at all. I barely ever use it and it makes me sad. It collects dust in the corner of my room. If anything, I use the Kindle app more than my Kindle. And I do want to read more on my Kindle simply because I feel like it's just like a waste of money if I don't. I don't know why I don't read on it. I don't gravitate towards it more than like physical books on my shelf. But I think reading on my Kindle more, using Kindle Unlimited more specifically, would definitely help me when it comes to like reading, I guess. Because again, if you guys don't know, I read faster digitally, which was the point of getting the Kindle, was so that I could read more. And I feel like if I really wanted to, I could have used it more last year, but I didn't. And I just want to see if using it more this year will help me with my reading. And obviously, if I do end up using it more, you guys will see like more Kindle reading vlogs or Kindle related videos. But yeah, that's just like a basic goal of mine. It's just like read more on my Kindle. There's no reason why I haven't. I haven't. Okay, the next goal is one that I really hope that I follow through with, but who knows at this point, who really knows? Read the arcs that I get. So because of the job that I have, it's like bookseller adjacent, I get a lot of arcs and I never ever read them, and it's so annoying. I get arcs of so many good books, so from like authors that I love, and I just never get around to reading them, and I don't know why I do that. And this goal in particular is one that I really hope I follow through with, because it makes no sense. Like getting an arc, especially one from an author that you love, it's like it's an honor, like, dare I say, and I just feel like I should get arcs and read them right away. Who knows if I will actually read them right away, but I want to read them before they actually get published. Like, that's the main goal. That's why you get an arc, is to review it and let people know about it before the book is officially published. Sorry if you can hear the TV downstairs. Someone just turned it on and it's super loud, so I have to scream, I think. No, I'm not gonna do that. But read the arcs that I get. That's a big one. Yeah, because even like behind me, if I look behind me, there are like 4 arcs that I have not started that come out within like the next 2 or 3 months. I don't know, but we'll see. Next one is one that I will be sticking to. This is not an if or a maybe. This is something that I am going to do, because it's something that has honestly been making me more upset within the past year. Don't start unfinished series. I keep getting bamboozled into thinking that a book that I start is not the first in the series, or is not the first in a duology, or is, I don't know, like I keep on getting bamboozled, and maybe it's my own fault. Maybe I shouldn't just buy a book and immediately read it. Maybe I should do my homework first on the book and make sure it's not a part of a series. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that homework this year. I'm going to make sure that I don't start any unfinished series, because the wait for the next book in a series, in my opinion, it's just not worth it. I would rather wait until a series is complete and then read it. My goal is to start series this year that are completed, finished, not gonna have to wait for another book. And will I be able to stick to this? I don't know. Again, I'm gonna have to do my homework before buying a book now, because how else am I supposed to know if it's a finished series or not? Being left on cliffhangers is something that I hate the most. Like, it is something to get me to want to read the next book in a series, obviously, but to like then wait like a year, maybe 2 years, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'll only do it for this current unfinished series that I have on my shelves that I am obsessed with. But besides that, I would rather literally just wait until all the books in the series are out. Okay, the next one is one that I think I will also be able to stick to, because I feel like there's no reason why I shouldn't. I want to read more novellas this year. I have never really been a big novella person. I don't know why. I've read like a few novellas within like the past couple of months. As you guys know, A Song for the Wild Belt, one of my favorite books. Didn't necessarily make it on my top 10, but it's like number 11 or 12 if I were to go outside my top 10, but whatever. A Song for the Wild Belt was one of my favorite reads of last year. I also recently read a novella this month by T. Kingfisher, and that author is very popular, very well known for her novellas. I don't know, I've never really garnered towards novellas, but I think that they're a really quick and easy way to get into a story without being like too invested. I think I need that sometimes when it comes to reading. Like, I feel like I get so invested in characters and a story, and it becomes my entire life, and then I have to read a novella every once in a while to remind myself that it's really not that deep. It's never that deep, actually. And then the last goal that I have for myself for the stuff I want to read is more nonfiction. I don't really know what this is going to entail. I don't really know if I want to go like the memoir route, if I want to go self-help. I don't really know, but I just really want to read more nonfiction. I think that I've always been against nonfiction for some reason, because I just feel like it's not for me. But I think that's a stupid way to think. Especially if I haven't really given it a fair chance. I do want to get more into like specifically memoirs. I think memoirs I could get into if I were to use the audiobook. One memoir that stuck out to me that I read within the past few years is Jeanette McCurdy's memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died. I read that on audio, and oh my god, a life-changing experience. Like, I think about it all the time, and ever since then I've always been interested of the idea of getting into nonfiction, but I've never really gone into it, and I think that I could if I tried. I'm currently reading reading a nonfiction right now on audio that I'm liking. I'm trying to be vague with the books that I'm talking about because I want to talk about them later in the month, but I'm reading a nonfiction right now on audio that I'm really enjoying. I'm getting through it very slow though, because I'm only reading it when I'm like working. I'm not the type of person that can read an audiobook while like laying down or like walking around the house. I need to be out and about in the world doing something in order to have my earbuds and listening to an audiobook. So I'm getting through it very slow, but I should be able to finish it before the end of the month. But yeah, nonfiction, I don't really know where to start. So if you are a nonfiction reader, let me know what I should and should not read. But yeah, those are all of my goals for my reading this year. Now I'm gonna get to the YouTube goals for this channel. There's only 3 in here, so I'm hoping it could be easier to stick with if I only have a few. First things first, I want to make more reading vlogs. I mentioned earlier that I will be putting out a few reading vlogs within the next like month or 2 because I have like video ideas that I want to do, but I also just want to do like basic day in the life of reading vlogs. I already have a vlog channel, so I kind of get like mixed up making vlogs for this channel because they kind of coincide with each other if I do that, and I don't really know where to put the footage sometimes. But I think reading vlogs will be fun over here. I think again, like I need something that's not that serious, that's very low stakes, and I think being able to see what I read, how I annotate, stuff like that would give you guys an insight as to how I'm reading, especially because I left you guys in the dark last year when it comes to what I was reading, how I was reading, what I wasn't reading, and I feel really bad about that. So I kind of want to keep you guys updated in any way that I can, and I think that reading vlogs will definitely help. Second YouTube related thing I want to do is more Kindle related videos, again because you guys ask for them. Like I've gotten a few comments within the past few months to make Kindle content, and the only reason why I haven't is because I haven't been reading my Kindle. Like that's literally it. Like I don't read on my Kindle, but because it's a goal of mine to read more on my Kindle, a motivator that I could use is filming for it, and I think it's a win-win on both sides because you guys want it and I want to read on my Kindle. Easier said than done, I fear, but also not, because there's nothing stopping me from reading on that thing. I just haven't. I got new stickers for it though, so I'm hoping like, I don't know, decorating it would make me want to use it more, because that's my mindset when it comes to things like that. Lastly, what I have is do monthly reading wrap-ups. Since the beginning of this channel, I have always done bi-monthly reading wrap-ups because I just haven't been reading enough to make monthly wrap-ups. I'm gonna change that this year because my goal in general is to just read. Like I just want to read as much as I can without actually forcing myself to read too much, and I think I will be able to read enough this year in order to make monthly reading wrap-ups. Even if I don't read enough, I might do a reading wrap-up. I don't know, even if it's like 3 books that I've read in that month, I might do a reading wrap-up. I just want to hold myself accountable for what and how I read, and I think reading wrap-ups, monthly reading wrap-ups, I can do. I think that's something that is possible. I hope. Don't look at me if it's not, but if I don't end up doing it, yell at me. You have permission from me to yell at me in the comments if I don't end up doing this, because there's no reason again why I can't. I haven't, and it's very annoying. Like, why am I like this? Anyway, yeah, those are all of the YouTube goals. With that being said, you guys can let me know what kind of content you want from me this year, because I'm willing to do it. 2025, all about getting out of my comfort zone when it comes to everything in life, including reading, but also I just want to read more. So whether it be like video ideas, reading recommendations, whatever, leave it down in the comments and I might do it this year. Though, like I said, I do have like a few ideas for this channel within the next few months that I do want to like push out first, so it might take me some time, but if you give me something that you want me to do, I will do it eventually. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, thanks. If you like to follow me on social media, it'll all be linked down in the description below. And yeah, I think that's it. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.